for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. That hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got calling your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rock-a-bye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, then make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look. See, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 crippin'. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to live in. Showtime, Mythic Apollo. I'm about the bottom. Take 2 and pour out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm balling like a vet. If you talking crazy.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. "22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance." And we are underway from FedEx Field. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Empty!
Now a first carry here for Robinson. Uses the stiff arm. That's a gain of 13 and a very solid opening play for this offense.
A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Back to Robinson now on first down. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in week 4, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On play action, Wentz. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say, those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Heineke on first down. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body, because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And he'll be brought down at the 27. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And he coughed it up. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And maybe some indecision there on what looked to be an RPO. He wound up keeping it, but that defense right on him to strip it away.
And typically when we see that type of indecision on an RPO, that means it's well defended. He had nowhere to go with it, and that allowed the defense to get to him and knock it free and make it a turnover.
Yeah, he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Prescott. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Well, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. picked off by Cameron Curl, and he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. Joey Sly on for the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Prescott's throw pulled in by Lamb. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On the sneak, it's Prescott.
Now, when you do call quarterback sneak, you don't mind.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 3 yards remain for 2nd down. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I can't help it because I'm just sitting back in admiration right now of what I'm seeing. This is a defense that essentially announces to everyone that they're going to play, you are not running the ball against us. I don't care how you try to go about doing it.
Number 1 rush defense in the league for a reason, and after that last play, they might want to try to go to the air. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Prescott to throw on 4th. And he fires one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Commanders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception. A 1st down throw for Heineke. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the 1st quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Heineke. And he fires one incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. Wentz going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
A first down throw for Prescott. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On play action, Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And they'll get this down to the 10. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from drawing level. Brett Maher on for the extra point. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag, and they'll accept that penalty. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Gibson to start the drive. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now this throw caught left side. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Heineke's throw complete to Dotson. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Heineke. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Play action now. Here's Heineke. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it's going to be tipped up and picked off.
Sly able to put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted it.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Heineke to throw for it on 4th down. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 42 yards. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll run left with Pollard. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Prescott now. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Prescott with a throw caught by Lamb. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Prescott off play action. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
Line of scrimmage is the 8 on 2nd and 8. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. And He will slide down with the first down for the moment, but a penalty flag on the field. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. And they're indeed going. Here's Heineke. Taking a shot for Samuel. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now a give here to Pollard. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Taking it about the 1. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards the pickup. 1st down, Washington.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Heineke. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Robinson up the middle. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Five yards remain on 2nd down. The play fake, and now Heineke winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, 35 yards. And the Commanders will add to their fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Benjamin St. Just. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
Again, it's Robinson. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball and continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Cowboys are right back in this football game. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 86 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line.
And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr., his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Commanders are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Now Prescott. And my goodness, another interception. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Slide for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll drop this underneath to Pollard, and he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. That'll bring up fourth down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Prescott on first down. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now third and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Looking to throw. Prescott. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Fourth down, Prescott. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the Commanders will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Robinson with another carry.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Off the play fake, Heineke slings this deep from McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.